Village Voice. This guy, I'll call him Dave for legal reasons, had a comfortable office job and is flipping through the back pages of the Village Voice. This is like an alternative paper sold on the street in New York. And he sees this ad for a Mistress Xanadu fantasy role play. He calls, keeping his voice low and inside his cubicle. Her voice sounded soft and sexy. Dave told her nervously he had never done this before. The sexy voice told him she would love to introduce him to all kinds of fantasy. Nothing can be discussed over the phone. Dave makes an appointment to meet at her brownstone apartment on East 33rd Street. The rest of his day flies by. So for a late lunch period, Dave leaves the office. The area is pretty and quiet, just one brownstone after another. Past a small cafe around the corner. There it is. For a moment, Dave hesitates. What if she's ugly? I don't know what I'm doing. One slow step forward, becomes two, and then one more. And at the door, he presses the buzzer. A voice says hello, and he starts to say a sentence, but just manages, "Hi," and then the door clicks open. A woman comes to the enclosed entranceway to open the other door inside. She's wearing a long black robe made of satin. Her hair is piled high on top of her head. She smiles with red lipstick and is probably 40. She says, "Welcome, Dave. Please come in." And all Dave can think is, she remembered my name from the phone conversation. Dave is not his real name, but that doesn't matter. The issue is about legality. Nothing about services referencing sex and payment can be discussed until the gentleman does one thing. Mr. Xanadu escorts Dave to a bathroom and proffers a large fluffy towel. "Do make yourself completely comfortable," motioning with her hands as if to slide invisible trousers from her waist down to the floor, and gives Dave a wink. Dave really hasn't done this before, anything like this ever. Inside the bathroom he thinks, "Ooh, so that's how it works." No details about what they are going to do or any money has changed hands, not until he takes off his clothes. Cops can't undress. Sheepishly, Dave opens the door standing in the bath towel and holding his clothes folded. "That's wonderful, Dave. How long would you like to stay today?" she asks. I only have an hour for my lunch break." It's a lie, and Dave isn't very good at it. He did tell someone at work he would be a little longer on an errand. I had not mentioned before that this was in the early 80s, and for all appearances' sake, this woman seems to be working out of her home, and alone. Mrs. Xanadu says, "Is it your birthday? You have a special look in your eyes. I would like you to stay. I would give you something very special just for your first time. Follow me." And past the door and down a flight of stairs, Dave can see a low light on a single bulb burning on a tall lampstand without a shade in the middle of a dark room. Mistress begins to light candles to brighten the room. On one side there is a painted bench and walls painted in dark red. There are chains attached to the ceiling hanging down, and Dave feels slightly cold. Goosebumps appear on his arms. Nevertheless, he is very excited, and it shows. Mr. Xanadu tells Dave to back up to the wall. No, right there in between. As she attaches his wrist to one shackle, the towel falls to the floor. Mrs. runs her fingertip down from his wrist, along his arm, over the shoulder, across the top of his chest, along his breastbone and under his throat, over the other shoulder, and down to retrieve the other wrist, so slowly, and all the while never breaking eye contact with Dave. With the other wrist secure, she steps back into the middle of the room. Looking around, and at Dave, she smiles and says the words, those words, the most dangerous words, the most frightening words, without emotion. She says, "Who knows you are here?" Dave's heart is pounding in his chest so hard, so loud, the sound in his ears must have affected his hearing. What? Mistress picks up the lampshade and moves to position it right in front of Dave. The glow so bright it's blinding. Dave closes his eyes. He can't even think of a lie quickly, as if he told anyone, a close friend, a co-worker. If I don't return, I was here. Mistress leaves the light close enough to him, chin level, as she paces backwards, slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, staying in line straight behind the bulb. The effect is stunning. He can't actually see her, but he knows she is there. And she says, "That's what I thought." And she turns and blows out the candles, goes upstairs, closes the door, leaving Dave alone with his thoughts. 1 hour, eyes blinding, feeling heat on his face. 2 hour, not certain. Mistress removed his watch and set it aside on top of his folded clothes. Don't want to damage it. And all Dave thought of was damage. Excitedly, one leg falls asleep, and the hoist feels heavy and sharp, wriggling the leg around to wake up. How much time has passed? One can never be sure. She kept him for many hours. Needless to say, Dave did not get back to the office that day. Mistress could watch him on the camera upstairs, so she knew he was fine. It's tricky. Is he capable of violence? So angry when she lets him go that he attacks her? Or will he understand? She has taught him the most valuable lesson any mistress could teach him. He should be grateful to her. That this is a mistake he will never make again. Just in case, she phones a friend to come over for the releasing. And that's what we know.